So why is this bad? Okay, you have high blood pressure. The blood in your blood vessels are flowing through higher pressure than normal. Why is this bad, right? Well, I'll tell you why it's bad. What's up, you guys? Welcome back to my channel and welcome to the first ever episode of what I'm going to be calling Doc Talk. Now, what is Doc Talk? Basically, it is me. I'm going to be here every week to explain one popular, I shouldn't say popular, but a common disease. I'm going to basically explain it to you guys and condense it into less than 10 minutes. So it's like a speed conversation. So I'm going to explain to you guys. I'm going to do the definition, of course, the pathophysiology, which is basically what is the disease, how does it happen, etc. Then we're going to talk about the symptoms, and of course, we're going to be talking about demographics and most importantly, prevention or treatment. So let's jump right into this video. First disease is hypertension, or what people in the Caribbean or all over the world call high blood pressure. So what is hypertension? So simply put, hypertension is when your blood pressure is high, right? So your blood pressure is basically the pressure of the blood as it flows through your vessels, your blood vessels. So we measure the pressure of your blood as it flows. Now, the pressure of your blood is measured in two values. We have the systole and the diastole. Now it's in a fraction form, the systole over the diastole. So I know you probably heard before that perfect blood pressure is 120 over 80, and that's true, but not really true, okay? So perfect or normal blood pressure has a range. So the range that is acceptable and normal is systole, which is the top value, should be between 90 to 120, and diastole, which is the bottom value, is 60 to 80. So any blood pressure that falls within this range, for example, if we have someone with a blood pressure of, let's say, maybe 116 over 73, guess what? That is normal, acceptable blood pressure. So your blood pressure doesn't have to be 120 over 80. Like I said, there is a range and it's fine, it's normal. So if your blood pressure is above 120 systole, so from 120 to 130, or your diastole, and your diastole is still below 80, we call that elevated blood pressure, which is where we become concerned and we talk to you about your lifestyle and changing different things before you hop onto medication. However, hypertension by definition is when your blood pressure value systole is above 130 and your diastole is above 80. So that's 130 over 80 or above. Now we can say that you have hypertension, okay? So why is this bad? Okay, you have high blood pressure. The blood in your blood vessels are flowing through higher pressure than normal. Why is this bad, right? Well, I'll tell you why. Imagine your blood vessels as a garden hose. A normal garden hose. A garden hose you use to water plants, water your garden. Imagine this is your blood vessel, okay? So you want the water to flow through your garden hose at a normal, nice pressure. You know, you want to be able to water the plants. You want some projectile to, you know, water the plants over here and over there. Just like the blood vessels have to get blood to different organs, you know, your brain, your kidneys, your liver. So you want there to be, you know, a good pressure. However, if the pressure becomes too high in a garden hose, if the water pressure is so high in a garden hose, what happens? I'll give you a second. Right, it can rupture, right? So if you have a garden hose with high pressure, especially if the garden hose is not a thick garden hose, if it's a flimsy, you know, cheap garden hose, what can happen? It can rupture, and your blood vessels are the same way, unfortunately. Now, right? Now, your body is so amazing, it compensates for this high pressure because your body doesn't want your blood vessels to rupture, right? So what does it do to compensate? If the pressure is so high over years, your blood vessels become thicker, right, to accommodate all the pressure, and it also becomes hardened, right? It's harder, it's not as flimsy, so it gets thicker, it gets harder, and all the pressure inside your blood vessels can actually cause damage to the blood vessel walls, right? The pressure can hit against the blood vessel walls, causing damage, and because of the damage, cholesterol can deposit on your blood vessel walls. So you have harder blood vessels, thicker blood vessels, and now because of the cholesterol deposition, you have narrower blood vessels, right? So let's say the area of your blood vessel was 100. Now, because of all the three things I listed that happens, the area might go down to say 50. So less blood can flow through your blood vessels now. Now, yes, that's bad. That means your brain will get less blood, your liver will get less blood, and that's not good. However, again, your body is so amazing that your heart compensates for that. How does your heart compensate? Your heart compensates by beating harder, right? Harder and faster to push blood through those narrowed blood vessels to get to the organs that need them. You might be thinking, oh, well, that's great. So my body did everything it needed to do to accommodate my hypertension. Problem solved. But not really. Guess what? Because your heart is working so hard now, it can lead to heart failure, right? So let's recap. Hypertension, narrow blood vessels, heart has to work overtime, heart failure. So it's like a domino effect. Yes, your body is so amazing and it tries to compensate for what is happening, but through compensation, something else gets affected. That is why hypertension is so bad, it can lead to heart failure. What are the symptoms of hypertension? Like I said, it's a silent killer. People can be living with hypertension for years and not even know it. They're not overweight, they don't drink, they don't smoke, they look good, they feel good, but they live with hypertension. However, there can be symptoms and signs to let you know that you have hypertension. Number one, it can be that you're more dizzy, you're dizzy a lot, fatigue, you can feel heart palpitations. That means your heart is racing or beating irregularly. Nosebleeds can happen. You can also feel early morning headache. So you wake up in the morning, you're just kind of dizzy for some reason. That can be signs and symptoms. But the best way to know if you have hypertension is to get a blood pressure cuff and check your pressure. I saw some on Amazon. They were like $40. If you can buy, clothes and stuff, you can invest in a blood pressure cuff. It's only $40, $30 to $40, and it's a good thing to have. Or if you cannot afford it, that's okay. You just go to the nearest health center or the nearest hospital, and they'll check your pressure for free. No harm, no foul. But it's good to know if you have hypertension, so you know you can basically treat it early, primary stage or secondary stage, before it gets to a really bad level, right? Okay, so we're gonna now talk about the causes of hypertension. How do people get hypertension? What are the causes? Why do some people have it and some people don't? Well, believe it or not, one of the major causes of hypertension is genetics. Yes, genetics. So if your grandfather had it, your grandmother had it, your mom has it, your dad has it, your sister has it, your brother has it, all your aunties and uncles have it, then there's a high chance that you will have it. Now, are you definitely gonna have it? Absolutely not. All that means is you have a predisposition to getting hypertension. So you need to be extra careful, watch what you eat, watch what you do, monitor your blood pressure, and just try to avoid it, because yes, there is a genetic component. Other causes, of course, lifestyle. We're talking about drinking, every weekend drinking 5, 6, 7, 8 beers. Smoking, being overweight, of course, is a major cause of hypertension, and that's self-explanatory, right? Diabetes and hypertension are like sisters, twins. Okay, having diabetes does predispose you to having hypertension as well. And believe it or not, being black, okay, studies have shown, demographics, that black people, African Americans, we have a higher chance of getting hypertension in our lifetime than our Caucasian counterparts, right? So these are some of the causes of hypertension. Treatment of hypertension. Number one, before anything else, lifestyle modification and changes. So I'm talking about drinking, cut down on your drinking, smoking, cut down on your smoking, or no smoking at all, no drinking at all. And of course, physical activity. However, if your primary doctor or doctor puts you on hypertensive medication, please don't get off the medication because you lost weight and you realize that your blood pressure has been stable for the past couple weeks or months. Please continue your hypertensive medication, visit your doctor and discuss with them whether you should be off your medication or whether you should keep using your medication. Because just because your pressure is normal doesn't mean that you don't have hypertension. All it means is the medication is doing what it's supposed to do and controlling your hypertension. Okay, so please don't get off medication because you lost weight and you think you're cured. It does not work that way. Medication is there for a reason. All right, so that's it. I think I've touched on everything that I want to talk about with hypertension. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I hope it was informative. And if you have any comments or questions, please feel free to write it under the in the comment section. I'll be glad to answer it when I get a chance. And until next time, guys, take care of yourself and each other, and please don't forget to like, subscribe and share because it really helps my channel to grow. All right, bye y'all. Hope you enjoyed it. Till next week, this has been Doc Talk. Bye.